Hello, Zaku Board Games. I am Zaku, thank you for being here, and in today's video I will show you the game ETER from Smart Flamingo. In ETER, players take the role of mages, battling each other in Magic Tournament, controlling the elements and summoning the minions into battle. The duel field itself is magical and constantly changing, but a well-trained mage can harness it and use it to his advantage. This tactical two-player puzzle game is based on the popular TicTacToe game. Players will duel each other in one of 4 combat modes, including tournament mode. But before we get into the rules, let's see what's in the box. In the box you will find 2 sets of 10 combat cards, 4 double-sided elemental master cards, 12 double-sided elemental power cards, 9 double-sided power explosion cards, 1 double-sided large and 1 double-sided small battlefield boards, 10 player markers, coal marker for fallen minions, and 1 manual. To start the game, we need to choose the game mode. ETER provides 4 different ways to play. Training mode is pure clash of minds. This mode describes the basics of the game. Mage Duel, in which each player can use the special power of one of the 8 mages. Elemental Battle, where in a larger area and with new rules of the game, we gain access to the power of all 4 elements. And Tournament. In 5 rounds, we will have to dominate the opposing mage not only by winning matches, but also by strategically placing the winning hand and placing markers on the battle arena board. Starting from the training mode, the goal of the game, as in a classic TicTacToe, is to arrange a line of cards of the player's suit vertically, horizontally or diagonally. We play to 2 wins. 2 games or 3 games in the case of a tie. Players use the same set of cards in their suit. We will not be using all cards in this mode. Starting with the first player, each player takes turns by choosing a card and playing it into the player field. Except for the first card, all subsequent cards must always be in contact with other cards, sideways or by corners. Higher value cards can be played over lower value cards by hiding them. You can cover your opponent's cards, but also your own. The playing field is created during the game. It closes in the space of 3x3 field, but it depends on the player actions how it will look. Once per game, you can use an illusion by playing one of your combat cards face down. The opponent does not know its value. If he wants to claim this space, he plays a card and reveals an illusion card. According to the basic rules of the game, if the card played has a higher value, it covers the revealed illusion card. If, on the other hand, the card played is equal to or lower than the illusion, the opponent has lost the move and also loses the card played. The game ends in 2 ways: by playing 3 cards in a winning line, or when all game space is filled with cards and no player has made a winning line. In this case, the player with the greatest sum of values on the played cards wins. After knowing the basic rules of the game, we can move on to the next modes. At the very beginning, we can enlarge the playing field by creating a 4x4 battlefield. To win, this time we will have to make a line of 4 cards. Players also receive cards with new values and an ETER card. It is a wild card that cannot be covered by another card or used to cover other cards. It is also unaffected by the power of mages, which we will discover in the next combat mode. In Mage Duel, each player chooses one of 8 mages with 1-time unique power. For example, one of the Masters of Fire can use his power to remove an opponent's card that is covering his card. One of the Water Masters can move the opponent's card to another free space. Another game mode is an Elemental Battle mode, which introduces 24 unique elemental powers to the game that players will use. For each clash, we draw 2 cards and place them next to the playing field. Each player, during his turn, can use one of them by using the card's special power and then discard it. The second player will be able to use the second remaining elemental card. The last mode is Tournament mode, where players will fight each other 5 times using the Battle Arena board. Each time a player makes a winning line, the last card placed shows the place in a battle arena where that player places his marker. The tournament mode is won by the player who, after 5 games, makes a line of 3 hits with his markers or has more of them in the combat arena. If an opponent's marker would be placed in a place where the other player's marker already is, the player captures the opponent's marker by placing his own, removing the opponent's marker from the combat arena. However, if you don't have enough combat modes, check out the Power Explosions. Power Explosion can be used in any of the game modes. We draw 1 Power Explosion card and place it next to the playing field. In order to cause an explosion, 2 lines of the playing field must be arranged, vertically or horizontally. The player who created the second line can use the explosion ability. He also decides which places are affected by effects indicated on the card, by choosing the orientation of the card used. The effect of the explosion of power removes cards from the game or returns cards to the owner's hands. And this is how rules and modes for ETER looks like. As you can see, I showed you only a few examples and cards that are in the game. What else is hidden in this little box? Well, you will have to find out yourself. Now, however, I will go to a short summary and our review, because we have played ETER dozens, if not hundreds of times. We love fast duel games, which never ends with one full game. We play several duels each time because ETER is highly addictive. The gameplay is tactical, fast and completely devoid of randomness. Another very big plus is the ability to play with our children from age of 8. But I think that even with the younger kids we can play with the basic mode. Using advanced modes, the game will be a great duel, even for more experienced players. And it's all packed into a small box that you can take on a trip or on a holiday. We like ETER very much and it lands on our table quite often, and with our huge collection it is a really good recommendation. If you are interested in the game, check out the Kickstarter campaign. Links to the website will be included in the description of this video. In the meantime, thanks for watching and thanks for being here. See you in the next video. Bye bye!